All right. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. It is April 22nd. We are live. Let's see. We are looking at NASDAQ just shy of all time highs this morning, yet again. Okay. Get everything set up. All right. Economic data pretty dry for today, this week. Not a lot on the economic data front. Next week will be big though. We have FOMC. We have a lot of mega cap tech earnings on the same day as FOMC. Today we do have Tesla after the close, so that can definitely be market moving. Have to see how that looks. And do. Okay. Okay, so Nasdaq starting to develop a fresh near-term range. The 5-minute RTH chart shows it really nicely here. There's Friday, Monday, Tuesday. Yesterday, a lot of whipsaw. A lot of whipsaw yesterday with all the headlines. And when we look at the higher time frame, we can see that range building out pretty clearly. So just like this, there's a sideways range. What I'm looking at for today is how price responds to prior day high, last week's high. Pretty straightforward. If we can see a break there and acceptance above prior day high, then price can continue in price discovery mode, potentially up into 27,000 and beyond. If we see a rejection there, if sellers step in to defend that prior day high, 26,887 ish, 26,885, I would expect that the near term range continues to hold, and I would be looking for longs around the overnight low, spring setup maybe, and then down near 600. So three areas I'm interested in this morning. Let's see how the day unfolds. Hopefully we have some better execution today. That is the goal. Yesterday, not my best work, but that's part of the game. That is part of the business. It's gonna happen. So as always, we're just looking for those A+ quality setups. And we will execute accordingly, win, lose, or draw. If we follow our playbook, if we follow our rules, if we follow our process, then we have done our job as traders. Here comes the open in about 2 minutes. I need to put my music on stream, Catrick. I'll get DMCA. I'll get flagged. Maybe I could find some free use music. Yeah, they'll flag me. I could look. I could look for some free use music. I don't know if everyone would appreciate the music though. We tried that once before. Very early on when I started streaming, and it seemed like people were unhappy about it. So all right, there's market open. There we are. 26. What's our opening print? 26,881. 26,881. Just shy of prior day high. Volume is now optional in the market. Yeah, seriously. Another low volume open. Below average volume open. Do, do, do. CL is higher this morning. Man, CL, I don't know if you guys were looking at CL yesterday. That that thing was going bananas, especially in the afternoon. into that extended hours volume point of control. Got VWAP right through there. $830 area, 840s. Small uptick in volume. I like to see the volume sustain above average. Little isolated orange bars. Not ideal. Price just sitting here, volume point of control. So for me, this is going to be no man's land. Like I said, I'm looking at either 900, the 725 area, or down into 600. That 1 hour still has 20-ish minutes left on it, but showing some exhaustion there near the highs, near the near-term range highs. What is the strat behind the risk management with your strat? I play stops where ideas are invalidated. That's about it. With the exception of trade 2 yesterday. That was a little bit of a flub. ES below average volume. NASDAQ below average volume. Let's look at this 5-minute RTH. Yeah, so we have a gap there. Small gap, still within prior day's range. And that is prior day value area high right here at 804-ish. Pretty slow open. Kind of has been the theme so far this week. Volume non-existent. Rich, lots of accounts getting killed in this action. Hopefully not Team PTG. We're chilling. We're cash here. We are waiting. But yeah, for the others, I would agree. I would agree. Nothing to do right here. Low volume. Ice Maker fighter pilot background. That sounds really cool. What did you fly? Maybe a little A10 Warthog. Just saw they extended that program. F-16's out of Lemoore. Very nice. Well, thank you for your service. NASDAQ lifting higher here into value area high. Snoozer of an open so far. Below average volume. Poor location. Gabe says if the NASDAQ doesn't want to give me money, let me try with 100x crypto forex broker in a foreign country. That'll do it right there. That is the money deleter playbook. Speaking of which, what is Bitcoin up? Yeah, BTC on the move again. Finally leaving that consolidation. All right, since NQ's not doing anything here, let's look. Let's have a look. Let's have a quick look at the weekly. Look at that. That is bounce time. BTC bounce time. Gabe added some BTC. Look at the monthly. Look at the monthly, Gabe. BTC. I don't trade any crypto or any Bitcoin. I do have a DCA strategy in BTC. Long term. That's it. That was it right there. I don't mess around with any other crypto. I focus primarily on NASDAQ. Trade what you know. Yeah, I hold some. I hold some BTC. Dollar cost average. I just have automated weekly buys every week. Okay, NASDAQ getting back into prior day high right here. Retesting the opening print. So this is the spot I want to watch. I really need some volume to come in though. I cannot do anything with below average volume. There's a small uptick in volume, price rejecting that opening print. Big rejection there. Right back into volume point of control. Could imagine we get some snooze days after all this rocketing. Yeah, I would agree. Trend range, trend range. Typical cycle for price and volatility. Balance, imbalance, whatever you want to call it. It's all the same thing. So we just had that big trend move and now sideways consolidation. So I mean, it would not surprise me to see this range continue to hold into next Wednesday with FOMC. And then I believe we have Amazon, Meta, Google, and Apple earnings next Wednesday as well. But this is good. This is good because it will provide us with fresh levels of interest to work with. So we want that structure to build because it's going to give us some new LOIs, new levels of interest. So it looks like a fresh low was marked there intraday. That gets absorbed by buyers. So a little intraday spring from value area low. 8 minutes till 10 a.m. No data at 10. I'm personally still cashed this morning. NASDAQ volume is below average. So far, we have had 2 rejections from the prior day high. How we doing? Anyone trading the first 30? Anyone shorting that prior day high? Des Green, nice. Cash, cash, cash. Okay. Cash. 0 for 0. Chrissy. Chrissy's never seen a market open he didn't love. I know that for a fact. Long at the bottom of the range, solid. We'll see if more volume comes in post 10 a.m. Ice maker, that's 40 points stacked, man. Don't let frustration give it back. If you're getting frustrated, just call it. Just call it for a bit. Yeah, the goal, yeah, Catrick nailed it. Got to get used to missing some upside. The goal is not necessarily to always be top ticking. Like I would not focus on any potential upside that you missed out on, assuming that you have a systematic way to exit your trades. If you're just exiting because you're like, all right, I'm up X amount, this is good enough, then that needs an overhaul. But if you're exiting using some sort of trailing method or you're exiting at certain predetermined targets, those are what I would consider legitimate reasons to sell. And so if you're doing it in that method, then it's like just keep trading the system. Keep trading the system. Yeah, Jeff, spot on. Spot on. Exit on structure has to be a reason to exit. That's a valid point, Rich. Consistency rule exits. Yep. That's definitely a valid point. Yeah, if you're in the prop space, you gotta play the prop game. That's for sure. All right, Gabe. We'll see you tomorrow, man. Taking the cash day. Good deal. Good deal. I'm still cash myself as we get into 10 a.m. here. About 10 seconds till 10 a.m. NASDAQ below average volume this morning. So far, a very uneventful morning. And ideal scenario would be extension up above overnight high and then a retest for an entry. See if that actually materializes. Here we go, back in a prior day high. There's prior day high being tested. Good uptick in volume. And prices just shy of that session high. What's our session high? Looks like 892, 893. What is ES doing? ES, new high of day. So ES actually testing overnight high right now. If you're into the S&P, if you like to trade that S&P, okay, here's NASDAQ following, coming into 900. Good uptick in volume. So I'm looking for a leg higher and then a retest. Basically, it would be my game plan right now. That would be the GP. There's a 2x RVOL. No break of overnight high just yet. If overnight high wasn't so close, this would be a potential entry for me personally. Given the proximity to overnight high, I wait for the actual break of overnight high and then the retest there. The volume improvement is certainly welcomed. Good deal. Good deal. Good deal. Okay, back into 895s. I like price above 900. When price shows you trend and wait for pullback, do you enter on CISD confirmation? I don't know what that is. What is CISD? You're gonna have to fill me in. Chrissy, you still there, Chrissy? Can I get a translate? That was a good coffee. Wow. Same as market structure shift. Yeah, I look for a market structure base entry. That's right. That is right. So volume has definitely improved post 10 a.m. ES, just an upthrust at the overnight high so far. NASDAQ has not shown a true sweep of the overnight high just yet. See if we get it right here. Let's bring that RTH profile in here. There it is. So back into 895s. There's your new high. Okay. Good volume coming in now as well. What's our current all-time high? Oh, looks like it was just marked there. Okay. Yeah, previous high was 901.75. Go ahead and mark that really quick. Right there. Let's go prior height. Just for reference. No acceptance above. Not yet, anyway. $26,900. ES back in overnight high. Okay, there's a fresh high. So looking better. We'll see if that entry starts to develop. So far, that's a nope. $900 again. $905. Need acceptance above the 900. Not consolidation at 900. So until that materializes, we're staying patient. Staying patient, staying cash. Don't need to force anything. Let the high quality setup come right to us. There's 910. So the fresh high, very slight fresh high right there. 920, 925. 930. 935. So there's a nice extension above ES, mirroring NASDAQ. I haven't checked the other indices. Let's see what's happening. A little bounce here in Russell. YM's up near highs. Wow, YM looks like a very nice hold at VWAP with an intraday spring as well. And there's NQ into 945. Good volume coming in now. So now just need the retest with structure. That's the entry I like. So 30-minute is showing a break from the 3-day range. Dave caught a 00 long again. Nice. The 900. Yeah, still waiting on the pullback, Chrissy. Into 900. Still a cash morning on my end. See if we get it. This is all-time highest trading for you, though. Fewer setups. There's 950. $960. And NQ coming into 27K. No retest granted. John, would I try a long on a pullback to a value area high? Only if it aligned with one of my other reference points or levels of interest. So in this case, current value area high is right there just beneath overnight high. So that's basically the same area, right? Session high marked so far right near 975. Decent volume on this push higher. And 30-minute bar is about to close in 6 minutes. Staying patient until that setup materializes. That's all there is to do. That is all there is to do. ES pulling back. ES is coming back into that overnight high right now. Chris, I've been patient long enough. I want to win. It'll come. It'll come. Remember, following your plan is a win. Following your plan is a win. Hopefully your plan wasn't to blow up the account. We follow our plan, we win. Account blown per plan. That's some wild planning happening over there. Going out on my terms. Fair enough. $27K. How wild what a couple of weeks will do for sentiment. How absolutely wild. Remember how everyone felt through here? That feels like a lifetime ago now. Oh, wrong chart. I bet. There we go. Yeah, right through here. Remember that? Look at that monthly bar. Look at that monthly bar. What was this retracement? Since Nasdaq's not going to give me an entry. Okay, so 38%. And really, you could call that a weekly time frame spring. I mean, look at this. Break beneath the structure. Everyone gets just super bearish down here. Bearish into the hole, bearish into the lows. The world is ending. Gas is going to be $19 a gallon. And then just whoop. See you. Long only. Long only. Been saying. It looks like this market likes to go up, from what I can tell. That's just me, though. So 1 hour into the sesh, how are y'all doing? I'm still cash here. I had one entry planned near 900. I'm not gonna fiddle around with this right here. Like a little like a little 13 point. We're not calling that a pullback, are we? A little 13-point consolidation. So that was my level. Wanted an extension and then pull back into the level, give me the entry. It did not materialize. So my job then is to stay patient, sit on my hands. Two for two, green, Des. Nice work, man. Pico for one on RTY, B-Link cash. 2 for 3, 1-1. Dave says, had I not been with you guys, I would have re-entered by now and blown it. I'm glad we've helped you improve the patience. For me, I certainly know what happens when I don't respect my process, when I don't follow my rules. So I have that scar tissue. It makes it much easier to just sit still on a day like today where the entry does not materialize. Because if I force it, it could work, right? It could work. If I force it, it could work. But the problem with that is I got a little cash today, but that's just a loan. That is a loan. That's NASDAQ giving me a loan. I'm gonna have to pay that back with interest because my habits are now going to have some negative reinforcement for a behavior that I don't want. So cash day is boring. It's definitely boring, right? But I know what the flip side looks like. So there we go. There's some volume. There's a seller. See if this actually gives us a meaningful pullback or gets instantly absorbed. Oh, Mike, how much time did it take to understand it? How many bad trades did it cost? Oh my goodness, man. Lots. Lots. And this was prior to prop trading. Like tens of thousands of dollars in options of cash. Like actual cash. Not simulated funds. Not a prop account. Real life dollars in a trade station brokerage account. Yeah, not fun. Not fun. Learn the hard way. Would you do options if there was a prop for it? There is one options prop firm right now that actually looks decent. I may check them out, but no, I switched to futures about 4 years ago because I believe they are an easier product to trade. So I did options for like 6+ years full time. Many of our OG Traders Think Tank members, like Chrissy and a handful of others in here, date back to the options days. I like options. They're highly versatile products, but The complexity means it's easy to make mistakes. And even when you get everything right, here's the thing about options. Even when you get everything right, you can still lose money with options. So you can get the direction right, you can have the entry right, and you can still lose money due to the Greeks, due to theta decay, due to the spread. So if you're not very, very careful, that product can work against you. Mike, I remember you bought some puts on the Silver Rush. Yeah, so I'll still that was my most recent options trade. I'll still put out some options trades if I think there is like massive asymmetrical opportunity in silver. There definitely was. That ended up being a 700% gain. And that's what those products are good for, if you ask me. Okay, so back into 950 there. Can we get a little bit more? Or is that it? What was that? Maybe 38? No, not quite. 23. Right into the 23 and just gets soaked up. Buyers right back in there at the shallow fib. So I'm looking for, I would like to see 900 and an entry down there near 900. Given that price is up here in no man's land, there is nothing else I can do with the farm. The farm, it could just be a cash day for the farm. And price right back into the highs. Yeah, so that's a 3-day range breakout currently in the works. Nasdaq, big divergence from ES. ES did not get the memo. Oh, sorry, I was looking at YM. That's not ES. What the heck? Yeah, I had YM where I usually have ES. Okay. That makes more sense. Yeah, ES just retested the overnight high. Back near the highs now. So ES held VWAP all morning. Speaking of VWAP, let's see what APT is up to today. Two nice longs for the autopilot trader. Man, what a month it's been for APT. PT2 hit right there on NQ. That was actually taken pre-market, it looks like. Yeah. Half an hour before the bell, long setup. And then YM. Nice long hit PT2 as well. Very good. Very good. APT. Making money while I'm cash. That's good. That's the autopilot trader for those that are unfamiliar. And NASDAQ fresh highs being made. There's 27K, first real test of 27K. Well, good news for retirement accounts, right? If you got that IRA or your 401k, maybe even a pension. That's always a plus. ES back to retesting session highs. Des won't see it for a long time. Yeah, true. True. Still nice though. Still nice. Number go up. Number go up. That's what we like. So this is looking more and more like a cash day for the farm, isn't it? I need price 100 points lower. It's the nearest spot I can enter on the farm. Let's see, is burner open? Yeah, burner's up. There's not even really much I can do here with the burner up in no man's land. The poor farm. The farm needs some fertilizer. We need some fertilizer for the farm this week. Okay, so those fresh highs were not sustained. Nasdaq coming into that most recent intraday structure point right there near 26,950. All right, Des, take care, man. We'll see you tomorrow. Dave, next week we'll see what happens. Yeah, next week we have FOMC. We've got all the mega cap tech earnings. I think there was one on, I think maybe PCE. Let's check. Let me check that. Let's see what's on deck for next week. Yeah, FOMC, yeah, PCE as well on Thursday. GDP. Okay. Yeah, should be a good time next week. Volume kind of falling off NASDAQ here. A lot of volume through price up in this area, though. We may see volume point of control shift right here to the 975 area any minute now. Let's see. There's your volume point of control shift. Right up here at 982. Five-minute is starting to show some barcode. So all overlapping bars for the past 20 minutes. Volume has totally died. So maybe some distribution up here near 27K. So far, no entries have materialized per my system. The main play I wanted was near the 26,900, and it just did not come. Still might get it though. Still might get it a little later in the morning, but so far this is just a cash day, no trade day. Gamma, being all cash is hard sometimes, but discipline pays in the long run. Yeah, I would agree 100% with that. That is the you touched on the main point right there, the discipline. Staying committed to your system, staying committed to your game plan. That is how I judge myself as a trader. My commitment to my plan. So that's pretty much all I care about. If I do that, I know the results will take care of themselves. I know the equity curve will go up and to the right as long as I follow the system. That's what it comes down to. So 950 holds again right there. 950 ES trading near the overnight high. All right, Dave, take care. We'll see you tomorrow, man. So Nasdaq just consolidating now, right near that 960 volume point of controls right through here. Coming into 11 a.m. We'll have that next 30-minute bar about to open up here in a few seconds. It's more than likely going to be a cash day for the farm, just based on current location. Andre's still going to engage if it drops to overnight high, if there's a setup there. Remember, we need location and setup. Location comes first, then setup. Ice maker still cash. There was no setup presented at 900. The action at 900 is just this little consolidation. So I can't personally get involved with that. The cash day. I was like back in a 950. So that monthly volume point of control shifted here right up into 800. That's for the month of April. Volume below average now. I'll give it a little bit more time, see if we get that entry I want. Action has really slowed down post 11 a.m. Volume fell off. And there's a little bounce right there from the 950 area. Potentially a little internal spring. There's a little uptick in volume. Into that 985 area. Seller's right there again. What a snoozer. What an absolute snoozer. It was all one directional move higher. That was pretty nice, but no entry was provided per my system, per my framework. So it's looking more and more like a cash day. We're almost 2 hours into the sesh. Volume has died down. Gamma oil dumping. Headline. Let's see. I check the feeds. I don't see anything out there. Right now, the decision is how much more time do I want to watch this thing with volume now below average. That is the question. That is the question. Little consolidation station here on NASDAQ. All right, I'll give it 14 more minutes till that next 30-minute bar at 11:30. If there's no setup by then, we'll just call it. We'll take the cash day. Yeah, volume just died. Good old all-time highs trading. back into 985. All right, B-Link. I'll see you tomorrow. 10 more minutes is what I'll give it here. We'll see. We'll see. Next 10 minutes. See if we get the setup. There's 26,990. And NASDAQ coming back for 27K. The 000. There's 995. And here comes the highs. There's 27K. Popcorn, no opportunities today. I was looking at 900. Was the main level I wanted to engage with, and the setup did not materialize through there. So I was looking for basically something like this, pullback, retest, and longs through this area. All we ended up actually seeing was this little consolidation right near 900. And for me, that's not going to cut it. So yeah, so far it is a cash morning, no trade day, with NASDAQ just marking fresh highs right now, fresh all-time highs. New high of day and fresh all-time highs. So I'll give it 5 more minutes, like we said, and then I'll just call it. It is what it is. Yep, 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 yep. For me, the main thing is just following my plan, and I know that is going to include some days being a no trade day, some days being a cash day. So far, that's a little up thrust at the highs. Up thrusty. How was everyone's day overall anyway? Rules respected. That's the main thing. Did you follow your process? We tend to focus on the outcome, but variance is going to happen. So, what we need to focus on is process. ES, just consolidating all late morning near that overnight high. Oil trading near session highs. NASDAQ pulling back into volume point of control. Jeff Day's like, these, I'm grateful for my corporate job to keep my mind busy and off the charts. Yeah, it's helpful. A little distraction, if you will, can definitely be helpful because, like we've talked about many times on this stream, the more you just kind of stare at the candlesticks, you get bored. It is very boring. You're staring at the candlesticks. You can start to talk yourself into a trade that you may not have planned prior to the open. And next thing you know, you're taking random trades. Taking absolutely random trades just for a little shot of dopamine. Just to give your mind a little excitement. There's a retest of the highs. Mike Short's not shorting. Yeah, it's tough to be shorting at all-time highs. That's for sure. That is a very tough trade. There's 27K trading again. All right, that is a wrap for me. I'll keep an eye late morning, early afternoon on 900 if price gets back down into that area. But pretty low expectations. This is a cash day. This is a cash day right here. No trades taken. That's how it's going to go sometimes. Remember, a cash day is not a failure. Shows that you can respect your plan. That is important. So I hope you guys had a good one. We'll keep it going in the Traders Think Tank for any late morning opportunities. But otherwise, I will see the rest of y'all tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your day, and thanks for your time today.